The news update: Puerto Rico still has about a couple 100,000 people still without power since Hurricane Harvey. I guess it was Harvey who went through there. And it's been like that for over 6 months now. So hopefully they'll have all the power turned on in that area here soon. Because about 90% of it, the island has power. Just the other 10% is still in the dark. Also, uh, when I was here, there's a lady that lives here. She's a real sweetheart and a real diamond if you got to know her. She walks with the walker, and she has a hard time, walking across the street. And the last 4 times, that I've known in the year, I've seen where people have just walked right by her and didn't pay attention to her. I mean, me and my uncle, when we see her, we help her. And, he sends his aide over there after her to help her too, which is nice. She helps too. And it's just a neighborly thing to do. It's just the right thing to do and a Christian thing to do. If you see somebody in your community or an apartment complex where you live that needs a little help, because one could argue and say, oh, well, this is independent living, and if you can't live here and can't do things for yourself, then maybe you ought to move out. Well, that's just being selfish. Because let me ask you something. If that was you on the ground and you were having a hard time, wouldn't you want somebody to help you? You doggone right. So why don't you think about that when you see that lady? Because 4 times I saw her left there. She's there for an hour or more, unattended there, just sitting there. And if I didn't hear her talking out loud, bless her sweetheart, she's such a wonderful lady, she would have still been sitting there for a long time. So luckily I heard her talk, and I looked over there and saw her out there. And there was someone in a gray car that was getting ready to leave because they had it all started and running and everything. And I just cannot believe it, how it just hurt my feelings and it upset me, because this has happened 4 different times with this lady where people have just, walked by her and left. My uncle said, well, maybe some of the people here are senile, and maybe they are, and they're only stuck, or they're stuck in their own world, and they're like a lot of the people, they got a lot of things to do that they don't want to stop to take time to help somebody. But the ones that are helping people that are like this, I'm not getting on you, because you're doing the right thing by being neighborly, and helping someone. You never know, you might make a new friend or another friend. You know, Sometimes when we help people, that's how new relationships are forged anyway. So that's a good thing, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. And relationships are always, I think, are always good. And if you can get a new friendship out of that, it's wonderful. So if you see this lady, if you see a lady that's a little slow, or that's in a wheelchair, or someone walking with a cane, they look like they need some help with their groceries or something, help them. That's the neighborly thing to do in your community, in your apartment complex where you live. Because it really hurts when I see someone like that. I do help them. If I'm there and available to do that, I will do it. But everybody needs to do that part, because these people need help, and it doesn't matter if they live in an independent living community or not. It's just the right human thing to do, and neighborly thing to do. It's like what Jesus would do. He'd go up and help a girl with a walker who can't get across the street. He would have helped her in a lickety-split second. And it's the way we all should be, instead of just walking by the person and just leaving them there. That's just so cold and so wrong, so many levels. And but anyway, I hope everybody has a good weekend. And I hope that many people will go to the parade this Sunday coming up for Easter. And I hope that people will venture out to the sunrise services at the churches. Because there should be Church of Christ having sunrise service. We were going to have it tomorrow on Sunday morning, but nobody volunteered to bring anything or to donate anything, so we canceled it. I canceled it. So we're not having the sunrise service here at Harbor Square tomorrow, because nobody called in from the churches to donate food or chairs or anything of that sort. for the event for tomorrow. So like I said, we've canceled the Harbor Square New Hunter Church of Christ um, sunrise service. So for tomorrow morning. But anyway, I just wanted to say, try to be helpful and try to help others, and try to be more patient and stop just thinking about yourself. It's so easy to get caught up in that arena, and we often miss the things that are around us that are so precious, especially when people need our help, and we just walk by and neglect them. Try to do the right neighborly thing and help them. It's only going to take you a few minutes to walk them to their apartment, or to at least get them across the street, at least anyway. But if you do these neighborly things, it's what Christ is called serving each other, and that's what we're told to do, is serve each other as God serves us. And sometimes he takes other men and women who are of God to do it that way too. He uses people to do it without them even realizing it. And again, some do realize it. So think about that. Be neighborly. Okay. Remember, if you fell or you had a hard time walking, or you had sight problems, you would want help, and you would want the same help. So think about that. I'm sorry I had to get back to, because it really bothered me yesterday to see that happening in a place like this. But anyway, and of course the resource lady said, well, she had another project to get to. And even though she had that project, why didn't she just ask one of the other tenants to help her get home? Or at least across the street, at least anyway, where she lives, if they didn't want to take her to her door. But that don't really take much time more to do that. Anyway, enough of that. It just really hurt my feelings to see that going on in a place like this, But anyway, you'll have a wonderful Easter and blessed Lord's Sunday tomorrow. And meditate when you go to the service. Think about all the things that God has done for you, how he forgave you, how he forgives all of us, and how we need to be like that to each other. I got a rather encouraging comment from somebody. A guy wrote that he was once accused of being a pedophile, but he really wasn't a pedophile. Just somebody accused him. I said, just like me. I have a neighbor in here that's been accusing me of that, and I'm not one. Because if I was one, I definitely wouldn't be living here. That's for sure. But the lady keeps saying that I am one since I've been living here for the last 7 years, and I think she's got some mental disturb issues, and she's codependent really bad. And I think she's scared of everything too. And, I think she's spread a lot of lies around here. And she's the one that's been doing all the harassing. And of course, she plays like she's the victim when I'm really the victim here. Because it's been going on. The videos on YouTube here kind of attribute to that. To tell that story. So it's not like these videos are harassing her. No, these videos are really telling the truth of how I've been harassed. And how I've been taunted, and how it still continues. So it's just a rather weird thing I saw outside when I came back from church with Kathy. I saw Patricia in her white car, and it looked like, it looked like a friend of hers. It looked like a car that was similar to Barbara's. And they were sitting side by side there talking, but it wasn't Barbara's car. But it was similar because it had the same color, but it was a little shaped differently. But it also had a back light in the window. You know how they have them in the windows too? Well, Barbara's don't have a light in the window. It only has just the tail lights. So, but the thing is, the people were just taking up the whole road, and they were just sitting there for the longest time, like they owned the parking lot. And I was like thinking, well, why do they have to sit right there? Because somebody could come flying in here and hit one of them, because they were right there in the lane, you know. One was going one way, and the other was facing the other direction. And they were just sitting there like it was nobody's business, you know. And it was just really strange how they were just sitting there so long. And, but you know, it's, um, but I mean, from what Kathy tells me, she sees them out. She sees Patricia doing stuff like that other times too, where they're in the middle of the road, you know, holding up traffic. And other people will be talking in their vehicle. She'll be in hers, and they'll be taking up the whole road or pathway from the cars on that side. Oh, excuse me, nearest to the dumpster and that sort of thing. But it just was a really strange situation there. It looked kind of weird. As to me, it looked kind of juvenile. Say the least, because if they got to talk, they could always just park their car like most people do in the parking spot and just go somewhere and get out and sit on the bench and talk, or go into Patricia's apartment and talk. But they don't have to take up the whole road. But anyway, that's basically what they do. And I just hate to see somebody come flying around there and hit those two people in the back with their car. Yeah, because they're flying around and they're not really paying attention, and they might be somewhat distracted, and that might happen. And they would be at fault because they're taking up the whole road. So, but anyway, everybody have a good day and take care and have a great weekend. Happy Easter, everyone. And I will have more in the news updates coming up tomorrow. Tell you the stories about what's going on at church, Paul Green, and what was preached and all that stuff. We may even transmit the message too that we recorded. We recorded there and transmit the message back to you. All right, well, take care. God bless everyone. Sorry for the yawn, and believe me, it's not boring. I'm just tired. All right, and y'all have a wonderful day this day. All right, see you later. Bye for now.